Healing is the most selfless thing anyone can do. What is healing exactly? Healing is when you are able to reconcile or make peace with an experience that happened that fundamentally shaped part of your identity. When you reshape your identity through acceptance, through overcoming, through allowance, and through forgiveness and growing and gaining strength from an experience, rather than being held down and defined by an experience, it fundamentally shifts your nature and how you show up in the world. Because when unhealed people show up in the world, none of us are really fully healed, but for lack of a better term, people who allow their wounds and their unconscious self to take over their actions, it causes people to seek outside of themselves a type of wholeness, something to fulfill a void that they believe that they have in themselves because of this painful event. People end up as people pleasers when, as children, they were taught that love was transactional. Love was something that you had to earn. People who are avoidant are taught from a young age that emotional intensity and emotional closeness are associated with distress or causing problems. Maybe you were, too much of yourself as a child for the adults in your life, and you had to hide that aspect of yourself, and it forced you to create masks and show up inauthentically. These things cause us to show up in the world as not truly ourselves, as a false self, a masked self. And healing allows you to bring your authentic self out into the world without a fear of rejection, without a fear of being harmed or ridiculed or rejected on the basis of you showing up with your authentic self in the world. As a young child, these things helped us a lot to protect ourselves. But as we become older, it becomes like a shell that keeps us entrapped in a certain world, in a certain perception, in a certain state of reality. I'll give you an example. I treat it like a seed. A seed, it gets planted in the ground. It has this outer shell to protect itself. It gets put into the darkness, and it's the greatest leap of faith a seed will ever take is breaking out of that shell to grow roots. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to feel safe originally, but when you do break out of that shell and you do begin to grow into your full potential, and you do become that massive, tree or that plant that grows into the sky and produces abundantly and gives shade and gives shelter to all sorts of people and animals and everything, that is selfless. Being willing to do the difficult thing, to open those wounds, to allow that light into a dark place, and having the courage to do that is a truly selfless act. People think that always trying to heal someone else or trying to put your energy out into the world and not giving anything back to yourself is some selfless, saint-like activity to do, when in reality, you are depriving yourself of the love and attention and time and energy and effort and care needed to fill your own cup. Because when your own cup is full, you'll be so abundant and so radiant that it'll spill and fill other people's cups. But when you're trying to fill other people's cups, trying to show up in the world without having a full cup yourself, there's never going to be enough for everyone around, and especially not for yourself. Another reason why healing is so important, especially in this day and age, is that someone who's healed and has integrated both the the dark aspects of themselves and the light, the bright, beautiful aspects of themselves, when they do integrate these things, they kind of appear as a beacon or a lighthouse. When the sea around us is all tumultuous and all of these ships are trying to get into shore, one person standing alone, one building standing alone on a craggy shore with rough waves and wind everywhere, and shining that light, just one light source, can be what guides thousands of souls home. And it's the same thing when you show up radiantly in the world, when you heal these aspects of yourself and you can show up as a whole integrated person and lead by example and not be consumed by your shadows because you're too afraid to integrate them, to look at them, to acknowledge them, and to treat them like as if they were a small child looking for love and nurturing and acceptance, rather than this boogeyman that has all of this control over you. And showing compassion for your shadows and understanding that these are deeply traumatized parts of ourselves that we've hid away, that we've forgotten about and left behind because we are ashamed of it and we're afraid of what the shadow represents about ourselves if we're able to actually do this kind of thing out in the world. A lot of us, we've done horrible things before. We've bullied people, or we've hurt loved ones, or we've, whatever it is, whatever your shadows are that are difficult to come to terms with. Everyone's got a monkey on their back. Everyone's got a demon that they haven't fully integrated and accepted and given that proper light and love to. Sorry guys, I'm just yapping. I'm getting off topic here. Okay, let's see. Final thing I want to touch on, and this goes a little deeper into the spirituality, the metaphysics of why it's so important for us to heal, and it comes back to this idea of mind over matter, of as above, so below, that the kingdom of heaven is within. And all of these things are pointing to the fact that our consciousness, our mentality, the thoughts we entertain, all contribute to the world around us. They all have a direct impact on the reality that we live. And when you're able to integrate the negative parts of yourself as well as the light parts of yourself, you're able to accept the full spectrum of thoughts that your mind entertains. Your mind goes all over the place and has bad thoughts, good thoughts, all of these types of thoughts. And honestly, we shouldn't even really be labeling these thoughts as these things, but it helps us as a tool to navigate our feelings and emotions. But when you're able to accept all aspects of yourself and heal your traumas, go forgive these traumas, because at the end of the day, forgiveness is not for the people who've wronged you, it's for yourself. It's to liberate yourself from the chains, the energetic chains that these people have placed on you, or these events or experiences have placed on you. When you can do that, and your inner consciousness is clear, and it's able to resonate at a higher vibrational frequency, you are able to literally impact the world around you through your healing. Through the fact that you have integrated these aspects of yourself, you can now show up in the world and show up in your own inner world and affect the world around you based on your newfound acceptance and outlook on reality. I don't know if that's a little crazy. That's something I might need to expand upon in a further video. But okay, finally, here's some actionable steps. This is all I got for you. Basically, healing is about going within. you will never be able to really heal looking outside of yourself, looking for someone to heal you, looking for someone or something, some method to save you. What it really comes down to is sitting in stillness and allowing these subconscious thoughts to come up to the surface. Whether they're good or bad, whatever it is, just allow it to come to the surface and observe it. Observe your thoughts coming through as if they were a cloud in the sky. You, the observer, are the sky. You are not these clouds. You just possess these clouds. These clouds are a transient thing coming through your sky. And when you can look at them as if they're just clouds that you can observe, it gives you a certain level of detachment and understanding where you can look at these things from an outside perspective and reflect and be able to see, wow, okay, this is not me. I don't have to associate with this. I don't have to identify and be bound to and held by these thoughts. Going within, being still, and even allowing yourself to cry, allow yourself to feel pain, allow yourself to feel these things instead of bundling them up, and allow them to be released, because this release, this pain coming through has always been there and will stay there under the surface unless you allow it to come to the surface and move through you and move through your sky and be the storm. Allow the storm to pass. That is all I have to say. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I hope this helped. Feel free to hit the subscribe if you liked what I have to say, and I love you.